Welcome to Everything Film right here on Crystalline Studios, where stories take flight and voices like yours and mine are heard loud and clear. I am Shelley, or I Hinan, a broadcaster and actor with years of experience in this ever evolving world of make believe. And this particular episode is especially close to my heart. We are diving deep into the beating heart of Nollywood, not just the glitz, the red carpet, all the blockbusters premieres, but the real mechanics of how the Nigerian stories are born, how they are written, who they are for, and how the world can draw from a deep well of storytelling. So, whether you are an aspiring filmmaker, a curious actor, a bold investor, or you are a wonderful audience intrigued by how the Nigerian film industry has become a cultural force, then stay with me. This is your masterclass.
So, as we all know, there's been an unexpected death in the building. And until we determine otherwise, all of you are witnesses.
Now, let's start with the big question. What makes Nigerian stories so distinct? For one, Nigeria is not a country, it is a collection of civilizations with over 300 ethnic groups, 500 languages, wide and varied traditions and worldviews. We are already sitting on a gold mine of story potential. Our stories are rooted in oral tradition passed from generation to generation.
I need you to speak clearly so I can respond.
No. Your daughter from today will be crowned my queen.
Fables, epic, family drama, comedy, folklore, and spiritual battles. In a typical Nigerian story, especially the early films, you would often see the moral arc where good must overcome evil. This is not an accident. It comes from a deeply spiritual society. Whether Christian, Muslim, traditionalist, Nigerians believe in karma, justice, and the idea that every action has a consequence. That is why many of our early films featured spiritual warfare, wicked mother-in-law, village witches, or urban hustlers. These were not just fantasies, they were reflections of everyday anxieties, cultural norms, and societal lessons. But today, we have evolved. We now explore mental health, feminism, queer identity, diaspora struggles, political satire, and even Afrofuturism, but always through a lens that is undeniably Nigerian. So, who are the stories for?
As I got on the elevator, they were arguing about something serious, like intense.
You were not there!
Here is the truth. Nollywood does not try to be Hollywood. We tell stories for ourselves first. Our stories speak to, for instance, the woman in Warri who sees herself in the character of a struggling woman in the market, the banker in Abuja who sees her pain in the narrative of a cheating spouse, the ego trader in Onitsha who believes in destiny, luck, and hard work, and yes, even the diaspora Nigerian in London, Toronto, Houston who is craving a taste of home. But beyond this, the world is watching. Why? Because authenticity travels. People everywhere want to see stories that feel real, not polished replica of Western cinemas, but raw, textured, local truth. When we lean into a culture, a language, a fashion, a music, and a drama, we give the world the lens they did not know they needed. Think about the wedding party, the Anikulapo, King of Boys, Eyimofe, and many more. These are not just Nigerian successes, they are global statements. So, how are the stories written? Alright, aspiring filmmakers and screenwriters, this is for you. Let us demystify the writing process in Nollywood. Step 1. The concept. Every great Nigerian film begins with what if? For instance, what if a village girl unknowingly marries a spirit? What if a corrupt politician is haunted by the ghost of his victims? What if three Lagos friends built an empire from nothing, but loyalty is tested? Concepts are often drawn from real life, folklore, politics, religion, music, and social issues. If you are writing for Nigeria, observe Nigeria. Our streets are full of scripts. Step 2. Know your audience.
Ah! 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 Yeah!
Are you writing for the masses who love drama, tradition, or clear good versus evil? Or for festival circuit? The clearer your target, the better your tone, the pacing, and plot will be. For example, cinema goers in Nigeria love spectacle. TV audiences love character-driven soaps. Netflix wants something globally related but locally grounded. Step 3. Create characters, not caricatures.
Certainly not for a tramp. Queen.
Nigerian audiences are sharp. They know a fake Yoruba chief when they see one. Write characters who feel like real people with dialect, ambitions, flaws, and contradictions. For instance, a good Nigerian character is not just a rich Lagos babe. She is a 30-year-old fashion executive who is battling a mother's pressure to marry, her past trauma, and her client in a male-dominated industry. So you need to create characters that feel very real, characters that people can relate with, characters that people or your audience can see themselves in. Step 4. Structure the story.
Àjọṣepọ̀ tó wà láàrin àwa àtọkọ yín nígbà tó ń bẹ láyé. Kẹ́yìn wá dípò ọ̀hún, àjọṣepọ̀ wá sì mọ́ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Kò lè ṣeé ṣe. Ẹ dákun, mi ò ṣe. Mi ò ṣe. Mi ò ṣe. Ó ní mi ò ṣe.
Use the 3-act structure, but know that Nigerian audiences want suspense, emotional beats, and moments of cultural catharsis. Your story must 1. Set up the conflict quickly. Do not drag anything. 2. Build rising tension, betrayal, mystery, confrontation. 3. Deliver a climax with emotional or spiritual resolution. 4. End with closure or a powerful question. 5. Language and layers.
Babe, Okomi, my son is still a virgin.
Tani virgin?
Yes, Samuel is a virgin.
Samuel is a virgin. Show you dear way.
I know.
Oh God, I didn't care. Yeah, virgin date. Okay. How about me, she virgin?
Do not be afraid to use Pidgin, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Chekiri, Edo, Isha, or any other Nigerian language. But remember to do one thing: subtitle them very well. What do we mean by layers? It simply means writing sayings that hold different meanings to different people. A single word in saying in Nigeria can be political, romantic, comedic, and spiritual all at once. So what informs a kind of stories?
Take this to my office.
I like the sound of the office.
Okay.
You want to help me carry that?
Sure. Oh, stop making me blush.
Go.
I'm going.
Ọ́fíìsì. Ṣé bíbí ò sí ọ́fíìsì ni? Ọmọ sísítà tí ayé lọ mọ èèyàn mọ ọ̀rọ̀ ilé ayé ni.
A lot of what we write come from a lived reality, and there are 5 major informants. 1. History and colonial experience. Up till date, post-colonial identity is still a major thing. 2. Religion and spirituality. From Christianity to Islam to Ifa, our spiritual beliefs shape our conflict. You cannot take a religion out of a lived reality or out of a story. 3. Urbanization and migration. Lagos is a character of its own, desperate too. That's why you will often see in our films people moving from the rural setting to the urban setting, from the village right to the city, struggling, going through all forms of life hurdles, and eventually either making it or failing. 4. Politics and corruption. You cannot live in Nigeria and not reflect our political tension. That is why either in the early films or today, you would often see stories reflecting our political life. 5. Family and social order. The family unit, gender roles, and generational conflicts dominate our plot. How do we write our stories without reflecting families? So because of the kind of value we place on families, and that is why you would often see families and social order being reflected in our stories. We are a society where respect, shame, honor, and belief define life. That is why you'll find a priest in a crime thriller, a prophet in a romantic drama, or a village chief in a modern business film. And for this segment, we will be addressing our investors, why you should pay attention. To all investors watching Nollywood, it is not a gamble, it is a growing gold mine. We produce over 2,500 films yearly, second only to Bollywood. Various streaming platforms are fighting for African content. With relatively low budget, the return on investment is impressive when done right. But here is the secret: invest not just in the production, but also in the development stage. Pay for quality scripts, proper pre-production, and marketing. Also, think globally and act locally. Films that stay true to Nigeria travel well. And for actors and new talent, this is what you need to know. Actors, listen closely. The Nollywood that we have today needs more than just fine faces. It needs trained, grounded, emotionally intelligent storytellers and story interpreters. And what are the practical steps you need to take? Train, join acting classes, attend workshops, watch great performances, and study them. 2. Understand script analysis. You need to know and understand why your character is doing what they are doing. And that's the only way you will be able to interpret that character well. Also, network strategically. Attend screenings, festivals, and pitch events. Be authentic. Audiences can smell fake from miles away. Your dialect, your scars, your realness, they are not weaknesses. Rather, they are your strength. So maximize them. How will the world benefit from Nigerian films?
Irú àlá wo ni? Irú nonsense wo lélẹ̀?
Now let us ask a global audience, what if your understanding of Africa was shaped not by headlines, but by our own voices? That is what Nollywood offers. A Nigerian romantic comedy teaches you how to love, boldly and with fire. A political drama teaches you our resilience. A folklore fantasy shows you our imagination. A diaspora story shows you our hybrid identities. In a world seeking identity, color, originality, Nigerian cinema offers it all. Sell to filmmakers worldwide. Collaborate with us. To international audiences, watch us. Really watch us. To educators, teach us alongside your Western canons. To streamers, licensors, backers, celebrators. There you have it. The beautiful, chaotic, entrepreneurial journey of telling Nigerian stories through film. There is never a better time to be a storyteller in Nigeria. So tell your truth, find your village, write with fire. And remember, whether you are behind the camera or in front of it, you are part of something much bigger than you. Thank you for joining me on Everything Film. I am Shelley, and at Crystalline Studios, we do not just talk films, we make history.
Ìgbà wo làwọn àwọn tó máa ń kọ story yìí sórí wọn máa ń pé ṣá torí irú story wo náà kọ yẹn àti pé ìgbà wo náà máa ṣe technology tó jẹ́ pé bá a ṣe ń wo movie yìí báyìí nísìn máa kàn wọnú TV yẹn máa ṣe nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe máa dẹ̀ jáde padà.